Hey team, today we are going over passive range holds for shoulder extension. We are going to go over a bilateral version and a unilateral version. You will need a short training stick or some sort of dowel or PVC pipe in order to make the movements happen for today. And if you find this information useful, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. So getting started, we will go into a bilateral version first. We are going to sit on top of our legs and our feet. Our feet are going to be in a plantar flex position. Our hands are going to be facing forward for today. It's not wrong to have your hands facing back for shoulder extension in general, but for what we're trying to do, we're going to actively pull this stick apart to create a radiation. A radiation is support from surrounding muscles to help you achieve the movement. So you're able to generate more radiation with the palms facing forward. As you get more comfortable, if you want to go with your palms facing back, that's fine as well. But I'm going to demonstrate with the palms facing forward today. With our hand placement, as much as possible, we want our hands to be about shoulder width apart. But if you're a little bit tight or not as mobile, flexible in the shoulders, you can go wider with your hands. And then as you get more comfortable with it, you'll bring the hands in a little bit closer. So before we get started, a couple things that we do not want to do as we get through the motion or go through the movement is, so we're going to start by, I'm going to show you what it kind of looks like for real, where I hinge forward. And as I hinge forward, I'm going to let gravity help take my arms further into shoulder extension. Once my arms can't go any further, that's the end. That's my passive range of motion. To work on actively strengthening that end range of motion, I'm going to return back to the starting position. But as I return back to the starting position, what I don't want to do is just let my arms just fall. I want to actively try to keep as much of that motion as possible. Also, as I return to the starting position, I want to make sure that my head does not go forward, that my shoulders do not protract, that my shoulders do not elevate. So I want to make sure that my shoulders stay depressed and retracted, not elevated and protracted. And finally, I want to make sure that my elbows stay extended, that they do not flex. So going through the real version, my hands are about shoulder width apart. I'm actively pulling the stick apart at 50% tension. I'm going to slide forward just a little bit so I don't hit that squat rack. I have long arms. I'm going to hinge forward as much as I comfortably can. As I hinge forward, I am going to allow gravity to passively pull my arms into shoulder extension. Once I can't go any further, I'm going to return to the starting position, trying to maintain as much of that shoulder extension as possible. Good morning, Andy. As I hold this position for 3, 2, 1, and then I will slowly return back down. My next door neighbor just came by. So from the front, I'm going to show you again. So I lean forward, let the arms go as far into shoulder extension as possible. Once I can't go any further, I'm going to return back to the starting position, try to maintain as much of that passive range actively, and hold for 3, 2, 1. Come down slowly with control, and that is our bilateral version. The unilateral version is going to be single arm, so one arm. We're going to place the stick against the wall. We don't want the stick too upright or just like a little tilt, because then it's more likely to kind of fall off the wall. So we want a reasonable tilt just to make sure that the stick stays on the wall and doesn't fall off as we go through the process. I'm going to get into a half kneeling position. I'll show you from the side first, and then I'll show you from the front second. So I'm in a half kneeling position. With your back foot, I don't care what you do, whatever you're more comfortable with. So you can dorsiflex or plantar flex. You can also drive in a little bit into the ground for a little bit more support and stability. It's up to you. So now what I do is I don't want to be too close to the stick where my elbow is flexed. So I want to move forward. And as I said before, if you're too close and I touch it, it might fall over. So you want a nice lean so you're supported. So now what I do with my single version is I walk my hand up the stick. And same thing as before, what I want to make sure is for the single arm, and I'll show you again from the front, I I want to make sure my right shoulder is not elevated. I want to make sure it stays down. So if I keep walking my hands up as far as I can, at some point my shoulder starts to elevate, and that takes away from what we're trying to do. So I want to make sure that my shoulder can stay depressed. So once I'm at that position, I can't go any further. What I'm going to do is I'm going to release the hold of the stick, and again, hold that position for about 3 seconds before I return back into the starting position, watching from the side, or excuse me, watching from the front. So I walk my hands back. I don't want to be too far out because that again mimics a wide stance. So I feasibly want to be in reasonably close where, again, I'm really working that shoulder extension, having my hand in closer. I walk my hand up the stick as much as I comfortably can. Again, not elevating, staying depressed in the shoulder. And once I can't go any further without compensating, I release the tension, hold for 3, 2, 1, just like I'm receiving the stick and track, and then bring it back down. So thank you for watching all the way through. Hopefully you learned something. If you find this information useful, again, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.